Hello there. I want to apologize in advance if there's background noise. It's very hot outside, so the cicadas are singing, and my puppy really wants to help me make this recording, so you may hear her as well. Anyway, today I wanted to talk a bit about the Star Wars content coming our way over the next year or two. I'm not including any of the books or comic books in this discussion, just movies and TV shows. A while back, the Disney CEO, Bob Iger, who is no longer CEO, indicated that the Star Wars movies were performing so poorly because they were pumping them out too quickly. As a result, Disney was going to take a step back from the movies, especially after the Solo movie didn't do as well as they hoped. True to his word, we haven't seen a Star Wars movie since Episode 9 in 2019. I'm sure COVID also helped the slowdown, but there were also talks of movies by various directors, for example the guys behind Game of Thrones, which have since been cancelled. However, at the Star Wars Celebration this year, we got the announcement of several new Star Wars series that will be coming out presumably on Disney+. Depending on which source you look at for the release dates, it appears we are getting a new series every couple of months or so for roughly the next year, leading into a new movie coming out at the end of 2023, in theory at least. So where am I going with all of this? I really wanted to get a sense of how the Star Wars fandom is feeling about the amount of Star Wars content coming our way. I'm not intending this to be a nasty discussion, but really a civil discourse to generally get a feel for how Star Wars fans are feeling about this topic. I know there's a set of fans out there that will right away blink their eyes and wonder why I'm even questioning how they feel about this because they are so absolutely ecstatic to be getting this much Star Wars content. And honestly, I get that. I was around in the before times when the only Star Wars we got for a very long time were the original 3 movies. So having Star Wars content coming out every couple of months is something I didn't think I would ever see happen. On the flip side of that, I know that there are those that might wonder about how much Star Wars and how quickly it is coming because they are concerned about quality over quantity for Star Wars. And I get that too. Sometimes when things come out quickly, rapid fire, or back to back, the quality isn't as great as the content is just being pushed out for the sake of pushing out content. This is why I mentioned why Disney stopped or dramatically slowed the Star Wars movies at the beginning of this video, as they were indicating that that was at least partly the reason for the movies not doing as well. This thought is something that occurred to me as I was watching announcement after announcement from Star Wars Celebrations about new Star Wars series, and I was growing a little concerned about the number of announcements made. I know there is a counter-argument to that where Marvel can be used as just one example, as Marvel has done an overall decent job of putting movies out pretty quickly and telling stories that wound up interweaving together. Granted, those are movies and not series, though we are starting to see more Marvel series coming out now too, and some of those have been really good. I also know that, in the past, I've read articles where George Lucas indicated that he had envisioned moving Star Wars into a more serial format like a TV show, as that would allow more time to tell the stories he had in his head, so the number of series coming out might work from that point of view. I think there's probably a third group out there that falls under the cautiously optimistic category, where they are excited for content and are hoping that the quantity of content coming out is of high quality. I might truly fall into this one as I am hoping it will be good, but some aspects of Boba Fett and some of the storytelling in Obi-Wan has me a bit worried. But I really don't want to go back to the dark days of no content being released either, so I'm hoping for the best. I did a very informal poll on Twitter using the 3 positions above on the upcoming Star Wars content and got a whopping 11 responses about this topic, but it is still interesting to see what those answered think about the upcoming Star Wars content. The majority seem to be just excited for Star Wars content, with 45.5% saying bring on the Star Wars, 36.4% saying quality over quantity, and 18.2% saying cautiously optimistic. I was a little surprised by the results of this poll. I was honestly expecting to see more in the quality over quantity, or cautiously optimistic poll results based on the feedback I saw from various fans on the Book of Boba Fett and the Obi-Wan series. And those 2 choices actually led for the first couple of days I had the poll up on Twitter. Perhaps the difference for those that answered the poll is what is slated as coming out. We have things like the Skeleton Crew, which of course is set in the Star Wars universe, but as far as I'm aware isn't involving characters we already know. Maybe series like these are the difference in why the top answer was bring on the Star Wars. What I mean by this is that in the first season of The Mandalorian, the vast majority, if not all of the characters in that show were characters that were of course from the Star Wars universe, but characters we had not seen in other Star Wars content. This means there were less constraints on the characters in terms of how they should or shouldn't act, and they didn't have the issue of having to make sure there were no canon breaks with the overall Star Wars story. Since some of the series announced seem to fall into this category, this might be the difference. There may be other thoughts on the amount of Star Wars coming our way, and I tried to leave that as an option on the poll, but didn't hear any other thoughts. So, if you have any other thoughts, feel free to share, as I'm just really curious as to what people think right now. Also, please feel free to comment and let me know if you agree or disagree with the results of the poll, as I'm also very curious about how representative the poll is for the overall Star Wars fandom. Well, I think I've rambled on enough for this entry, so I just wanted to say that I hope you have a great day, and may the Force be with you.